Good afternoon, everyone. Philip from Blackpool Markets here. Hope you guys are doing well. Bit of a treat for you guys. The markets have been very quiet this week, so not a lot going on for us here on the trading floor. It has, like I said, it's been very quiet, not a lot of movement. I'm assuming it is because of a lot of, especially people are concerned about a trade war, which I'm not really too fussed about. Also because it is and this time of the year, there's all sort of holiday seasons in America. So everyone's kind of on a holiday, especially now with the ESMA regulations that came out recently as well. A lot of people have been looking for brokers. So for us, like I said, it's great for us because we are getting a lot of really high influx of clients moving to us due to the ESMA regulation, because as you guys know, we are based here in New Zealand and we are not affected by it. So people can still trade with high leverage from 1 to 500. They can still trade up with that high leverage. So also, like I said, so that was the cause for the market being so quiet. But I mean, I was flicking through my charts and I did find a really nice pattern. Now this whole video will be based off of Elliott Wave, so this will be 100% Elliott Wave analysis. I might maybe further on in the video I'll look at putting in some basic technical analysis to kind of break it down in previous history as well. So what we're looking at here is Ethereum on the one hour bar chart. I'll be staying on the 1 hour bar chart, just zooming it out. So we will not be changing time frames. We will just stay on the 1 hour bar chart, and obviously, like I said, we will be zooming out. So now, like I said, I was flicking through my charts and something really caught my attention. They looked really good. So if you guys are not familiar with Elliott Wave, you can stick around. It will still help you out because I will sort of explain what could possibly happen afterwards as well, using Elliott Wave analysis. And also you could potentially learn a little bit more about Elliott Wave as well if you were interested in it. It is a very powerful analysis tool that you can have in your arsenal. It is also especially good for people who decide to hold positions over the long run, or want to sort of use it as a roadmap to determine what the market is doing, and then adding technical analysis, fundamentals, or any sort of indicator to aid you in your entry signals. Now, so one of the things that really stuck out to me here was this pattern over here where we're looking at. So this is, like I said, 1 hour bar chart on Ethereum. So this is what we'll be looking at. And so what we saw here is a very nice wave to the upside. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you guys are familiar with Elliott Wave, we have how it works is a complete cycle. It's 5 waves to the upside and 3 waves to the downside, or better said, 5 waves in the direction of the trend and 3 waves in the other direction of the trend. Now I do know you guys have probably picked up that this is a downtrending market, as it is in stocks. Sorry, not in stocks, as it is in all our cryptocurrencies that we currently have, and Bitcoin as well. It is a big downtrending, so all the cryptocurrencies are really pushing down hard. People, especially with a lot of fear, that is one of the reasons why it's being pushed down so far. You can see these the big gaps as well. So how that works is, because the majority of the time in your cross currencies, how it works is usually you'll see the start off moves be quite strong in currencies, because it's caused by people have got hopefulness in it. So they just a lot of hope in it. So they really, enthusiastic is the better word. So there's a lot of enthusiasm. As soon as a move starts to move, people pump in, or they enter their trades, and that causes a nice big move in the start of your trend. Now, how it works in Bitcoin or your currency, your stocks or your futures or your commodities, usually the last part of your move is strong, because they usually made because of fear. So, for example, gold. People, as soon as something goes bad in currency, while the move is busy making its way to the upside, people are slowly starting to trickle in. For example, they would slowly start trickle in. The move starts to move to the upside, and all of a sudden, people are seeing, for example, the dollar's going down, and people all of a sudden they pumping money into the gold, and it shoots up. So that causes out your last move to the upside. And where you can see as well in Bitcoin, like we had previously, if you guys remember, it was a big move, strong move to the final move to the upside, and it was a almost unexpected turnaround to the downside. But back to this. So we can see we had a 5-wave move to the upside, 3-wave move to the downside. So this is a very good indication. in Elliott Wave. It's good to see. What we also have here is alternation. So if you guys are not too familiar with that, alternation means that there's alternation in your waves 2 and waves 4. So wave 2 was a sharp correction, wave 4 is a sideways correction. Now what we can see here is that wave 4 was indeed a triangle, which is, sorry, a little bit better labeled as here. And I'll connect these points for you as well. So you can see we've had waves A, B, C, D, and E, and then had their final push to the upside, and then a 3-wave correction, and we started moving up again. So this is the pattern that caught my eye. This is what sort of sparked my interest in trying to really analyze this chart and see what's really going on in Ethereum. I'm not really a big cryptocurrency trader, but I mean, it did come across, it really did stick out to me. So this is maybe there will be future strong future potentials in cryptocurrency as well. As you've seen previously in my Bitcoin videos, we had a lot of opportunity trading Bitcoin as well. It has tanked recently, so I mean that was a little bit unexpected, if I can be honest with you. But I mean, we had our risk manage our risk really well, and ended up getting a really good long run on Bitcoin to the upside as well. So I'll quickly show you. So what I did, I actually already have analyzed this chart. I've already labeled it for you guys. So I'll show you what the labelings are. So you can see this is a 5-wave move, big move to the downside. So this is not, for me, this was not really the start of a new trend, but part of a correction. So for me, this is a wave, a B wave, and hopefully a beginning of a C wave, completing a zigzag correction. So we'll jump over to here, go to a 1-hour bar chart. Zoom it out a bit, and then I can show you guys the labeling I have. So this is the complete labeling of this big move to the downside for Ethereum. Like I said, we will be sticking on the 1-hour bar chart, just zooming out so you can see a bit more of a excuse me, a bit more of the detail. I'll also just shrink this a bit so you guys can see the full labeling. So what we've had was that strong move to the downside, coming in. I started labeling here as a wave B. You can see wave B has got its my apologies. Yeah, so you can see wave B has got its, this is its C wave, and this is its B wave. And also in the C wave, you can see it's got its 5 waves. Also, here's another example of what I was telling you before, where it is pushed by fear. You can see we've got waves 1, waves 2, and it started moving to the strong side, coming to wave 4, and then all of a sudden made this really strong push, this last push, because of fear again. And then we had our turnaround to wave 1, coming down to wave 2, moving to wave 3. So I've really broken this down for you guys. It's actually been a very good looking chart. I obviously haven't labeled the internals here, but you can still see your waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here again you can see your zigzag moves as well. So I mean, we've got the general picture here, and let me tell you guys what we're looking at for the long run as well. So obviously we are looking for potential moves to the downside in this, looking for a wave 5, completing the cycle, and then looking for a retracement. So this will be, after completing this wave 5, we will then complete a wave C. So this is the move we'll be looking for, and then hopefully we can see a potential push to the upside after after this strong push to the downside. But for now, we're looking for this move to the upside. So here's that 5-wave structure that caught my eye. You can see here's our waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll just quickly finish labeling this for you guys over here so you can see what I was talking about. There we go. So this we've got, and it looks like we have started with a wave 1 as well on this side. So we could look for a potential wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 coming to this level over here. Now the reason why I've got this level over here is because of Fibonacci, purely for Fibonacci, because how it works is, if you guys are not familiar with how Fibonacci works, excuse me, is so when you have a zigzag wave, if you've got wave A, wave B, and wave C. So wave C and wave A are generally the same size, so they're usually 100% to each other. So you can see that as on the 100% mark of wave A. I'll actually label that for you guys as well, so you guys can see that I'm actually what I'm talking about. Let me just quickly label this for you. So we've got wave A here. Great. And we've had a wave B, so I'll quickly change this as well, add this in for you as well. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Now we're looking for that potential wave C, completing that wave 4, which as well you can see is sort of, and also another thing that follows an Elliott Wave is guideline of alternation. So what you can see here is there's multiple cases of this alternation that we've had. So you can see we've had a sort of a flat correction here for wave 2, and then we've moved on to wave 3, and then wave 4 looks like it can be a sharp zigzag correction. So there's a guideline of alternation also in here as well. We've had wave 2, which was a zigzag, and then wave 4 being a sideways correction. In this case it was a running triangle, where wave B actually went past the start of wave A, and finishing this triangle as well. And also another good thing we usually look for in Elliott Wave is a undershoot, or that doesn't come close to the trend line connecting waves A and C, and that usually indicates that a strong move will happen afterwards, and which it did happen. And also knowing that, like I said previously, it is run by fear. So this is our wave 5, again showing a very strong finish in this market. So you can see starting from waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can see it started off slowly, and then again all of a sudden fear kicked in, slow down again for the correction, and you can see it just really, a lot of people got scared and got rid of their Ethereum or sold their Ethereum, and you can see it has made this big gap and finished with a strong move to the downside with a correction. So I mean, potentially we could see wave 5 extending as well. We've had our wave 3 extended. You can see it has gone well over 200% of wave 1, and we know, if you do know anything about Elliott Wave, you know that wave 3 is usually equal to 161% of wave 1, which was here, and you can see it did really shoot way beyond that, going past 261.8%, finishing back over here. So that is a very, very strong extension. We could potentially see wave 5 extend as well, just because, like I said, these kind of things do finish strongly because of fear. So that is a strong thing that is driving this Ethereum right now to the downside. This is what I'm looking at. You can see all the internal waves as well. So we've had a triangle here, with sort of a double zigzag for wave 2. Wave 4 over here was not too small. So I mean, what we could potentially be looking for as well, guys, is this will finish around about the previous level of the previous wave 4. So that is down here. So I mean, it could still potentially retrace all the way down here. But I mean, it is unlikely, because this trend is very strong. So our previous wave 4 is right over here. If you guys do know about your Elliott Wave guidelines, wave 4 usually does sometimes follows a guideline that it does retrace to the lesser degree of the wave 4 of that impulse. So that is that previous wave. So it can even come to the start of it, the highest point of it, the lowest point of it, which was our wave A. So that is what we're looking at. So you can see it actually happened here previously. The wave A retraced to that previous wave 4 over here. So I mean, it does follow that guideline quite strongly. And again, we have alternation. You can see here, let me zoom in for you guys. You can see we've had that guideline of alternation here. We've had waves 1 strong, wave 2, waves 1, wave 2 as a zigzag, wave 3 and wave 4 again in alternation. And then obviously finishing with a strong move to the upside to complete that move. So this is really what I'm looking for, guys. It is a very in-depth detail for Bitcoin. So coming to the conclusion of this video, we are looking for strong potential moves to the downside after it has finished our wave 4. So like I said, we'll be looking out for a wave C coming round about to this area over here, which is, let me just quickly check for you what the price is. So we're looking for a move to the price of $324.33. If you want me to, I can be a bit more precise for you guys using Fibonacci over here. I'll show you guys what we could be looking for on a more exact scale. So the level we're looking at if you want to be exact, is $324.19 for Ethereum. So that is the move we're looking for before we start to look for any retracements. So for now, if you want to trade on the shorter time frame, maybe the 15-minute time frame, you can potentially trade this move to the upside, looking for a 5-wave structure. Keeping in mind, because this trend is really strong to the downside, we could see a ending diagonal, which, if you guys are not familiar with the ending diagonal, I'll quickly draw it for you here. I'll just go over here and change this so I can draw it for you. So in Elliott Wave, we have our simple 5-wave structure, which is our 5-wave structure over here, which is an impulse wave. Waves 1, waves 2, waves 3, wave 4, and then let me just quickly change that. Wave 4 and wave 5. Not too sure what just happened. So this is our this is our impulse wave. This is the waves that we usually trade, and then also coming in as well, we could see finishing our wave C for that move is a ending diagonal, which is also in the direction of the trend, but this indicates weakness in the market. So this usually occurs in your wave C or your wave 5. So ending diagonal is all the waves are decreasing in size, and it sort of forms a wedge-shaped pattern. So you can see here that so we could see a combination of this. So let me just quickly show you guys again what I mean by that. So I'll just quickly change this as well. So what we have there is, I'll quickly take you back here so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're talking about this little area right over here. Let's go 15 minutes. So we are talking about this move right over here. You can see our 5-wave move, 3-wave move to the downside. It does look like it was a 5-wave structure, so I mean we'll see what happens. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is we could potentially see a move that looking like this. So we've got our 5-wave structure to the upside, looking like this. 1, 2, 3, coming down to a 4, which was a triangle, so I'll draw it like that, and a wave 5. And then we had our ABC correction, which did reach the previous wave 4, or the wave 4 on the lesser degree. I'll quickly show you guys that as well, so you can see it did come close to that wave 4 of the lesser degree as well, finishing around about that area. And now we started that move to the upside. We had a bit of a retracement to the downside, so I mean we could potentially see it. That just being a retracement keeps moving up, and we could potentially see this ending diagonal forming, just because the trend is on such a strong downside, on such a strong downtrend that this is what we could potentially see, which could be really good as well, because I mean this will give you a really nice good entry signal, so you can use your technical analysis here as a once it breaks this wedge, you can enter it. Or if you want to trade purely on Elliott Wave, you can do so. So keeping in mind that all the waves in ending diagonal have to be decreasing in size. So you would then have to use your Fibonacci. So you can see here, for example, all these waves are less than 100% of each other. So wave 1 is bigger than wave 3, and then wave 2 is bigger than wave 4, and obviously wave 5 then has to be smaller than wave 3. So you can actually enter the trade already if the market has made this move, putting your stop loss just above that 100% mark of wave 3, and then looking for a move to the downside. So in reality, if you were to enter a trade when it was already here, this move still could move all the way just before the 100% mark, which could cause a lot of people to run and hide, close their trades, and then usually what happens, this is what I found a lot as a new trader, this usually happens, you close the trade because you're scared it's going to hit your take profit, you completely throw your trading system out the window, and what happens then, you exit the trade right over here, and all of a sudden this trade moves to the downside. Now what happens to the people who hold on to it, wait for it to hit their stop loss, this trade can turn around and move all the way further down, continuing that downtrend that we're looking for. So it's just a bit of an example that could happen. So also just another bit of a lesson in there. So always, if you have a trading plan that works for you, make sure to always stick with it, no matter what happens, whether you think that it's going to hit your stop loss, whether some news event came out, unless that's part of your trading strategy. Leave your trade as it is and continue following your rules. Otherwise, you spend all that time developing this trading strategy of yours, and you just throw out the window, which is a waste of time. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, so coming back to the whole Ethereum thing, so this is the big chart that I am looking at. This is the big move we're looking for after this retracement to the upside, looking for a strong, potentially strong move to the downside, finishing a ABC cycle. And then, as you know from Elliott Wave, after an ABC cycle, we will look for a 5-wave move in the opposite direction, potentially starting off a whole new trend. So I mean, this could happen anywhere from in the next couple of months to even next year. All depends on how long this wave 4 and wave 5 will drag out. It obviously is on a 1 hour bar chart, so I mean, but if you put it, if you do zoom in a little bit and put it, so as you guys know from all of my videos, this is about the size that I trade on, the size of the bar charts that I'm trading on. If you put on the daily, you can see it is, there's that move we're looking at. So I mean, this could still take some time, you know, moving past this level over here. So in reality, this is the daily bar chart, so it could take a couple of days, and then for this move to start, you know, this move could take a couple of in the next couple of months, or even ending up in next year, depending on how long it consolidates. I mean, we'll see what happens. So the best we can do is take an estimated guess, hopefully we are right. That's all trading is putting the odds in your favor. As we're not always 100% right, but that's why we have risk management, and we put that has to go well with your trading strategy. Always put together risk management with your trading strategy. Otherwise it won't work. But yeah, guys, sorry, a little bit of wandering. Just a whole big lesson with this analyzing of Ethereum. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. It is quite a lengthy video. Thanks very much if you did stick out to the end. We really appreciate it for you guys watching it. Hopefully you guys have learned a lot for your trading psychology. Maybe you learned something new about Elliott Wave. I have made videos previously teaching just the basics of Elliott Wave and some technical analysis as well. So we will see, we will see what happens with this Ethereum. A little bit excited about it, so we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon to get any new notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, if you guys want to get in contact with us, please do so. My contact details will be provided down below in the description of the video. Or you can just go online at blackbullmarkets.com. Click on the little green button that says live chat, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We are active 24/5, so we're active 24 hours on business days. Also, if you guys prefer to send us or contact us via email, please do so. Send us an email at support@blackbullmarkets.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and from everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading. Thanks.